From the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Well, good morning, everyone. 9:02 a.m. It's Thursday, June 10th, 2021. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to everyone. Back live. And as of Monday, I'll be back in the studio and we'll be back live doing our thing. So very, very excited about that. My last few days traveling, and so I plan to enjoy it as much as humanly possible. Thank you for everyone tuning in this morning. We've got a really packed show today for the Practitioner Brief. But before we get started, we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you have not subscribed, please make sure to do so right now and follow us. You don't want to miss that as well. If you're listening on your favorite podcast listening platform after the fact, please subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. You don't, we really appreciate it. It's not that you don't, but we do. I'm very grateful for every subscriber we get on the show. Packed show today. So before we do that, big shout out to our show partners, KnowBeforeWistic and Ativo Networks. You can see more about them in the show notes. For everyone listening or watching live, all of the links to all the stores are available in the show notes, so you can check them out there. Good morning to Matt Lee joining us live. Matt, what's happening, man? So we've got 5 big stories, starting with Biden revoking the Trump-era executive orders around Alibaba and TikTok. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the Colonial pipeline with an old VPN password. The $11 million ransom paid to the REvil ransomware gang. We'll discuss that as well. And I'm going to kind of provoke you guys just slightly this morning, a new TLS attack method and a emerging ransomware that's targeting businesses. Good morning to Christopher Joseph, who's joining us from LinkedIn. Good top of the day for you too. And also good morning to Roger. Looking forward to Monday night's Engineering Society presentation. I am too. Roger, you guys are going to be my first step back. I'll be, I don't think I'll even be 24 hours back stateside when I get to see all of you guys on Monday night. So I'm super excited about that. So let's get right into an emerging ransomware strain that's in the threat landscape that's claiming to have breached over 30 organizations in just 4 months since it's gone operational, riding on the coattails of a notorious ransomware syndicate. The ransomware challenge is only going to increase. We talked a little bit about it yesterday on the Tech Town Square with Eddie, around the crypto aspect of it. But from a cyber perspective, what we're starting to see now is the evolution of ransomware and the threat actors that are jumping in the ring because they're seeing an opportunity to make money. The affected entities, and those ones are believed to be government, financial services, manufacturing, logistics, consulting, agriculture, healthcare services, insurance agencies, energy, and law firms in the US, UK, and a dozen more countries in Asia, Europe, Middle East, South America, according to a new research by the folks over at Unit 42 Threat Intelligence Team at Palo Alto. Like many other ransomware gangs, the Prometheus takes advantage of a double extortion tactic and hosts a dark web leak site where it names and shames new victims and makes stolen data available for purchase at the same time, managing to inject a veneer of professionalism into their criminal activities. However, only 4 of those 30 affected organizations opted to pay ransom to date. The cybersecurity firm analysis revealed, including a Peruvian agricultural company, a Brazilian healthcare services provider, and 2 transportation and logistics organizations in Austria and Singapore, respectively, have all decided to pay. You can see the impacted countries here as well. It's worth noting, however, that there's strong links to Thanos, the gang that professes to be a group out of REvil as well. Here's the thing about ransomware that we all got to keep an eye on from a risk, impact, and mitigation perspective. Ransomware is not the result of one failure. It's a result of a series of failures. It's also a result of us counting too much on technology and not following our gut instincts. I've been on so many calls with people who've been victims of ransomware attacks where they go, I knew it, and I should have done something about it. I knew something wasn't right. Follow your instincts as a practitioner. When something doesn't smell right, damn it, it probably doesn't smell right. Go fix it. Make sure you address it. Let's talk a little bit about this new story. It's called Alpaca, and it's a new TLS attack method that allows user data extraction and code execution. Researchers from 3 universities in Germany have identified a new TLS attack method that can allow a man-in-the-middle attacker to extract user data or execute arbitrary code. The new attack, dubbed Alpaca, like the animal, has been described as an application layer protocol content confusion attack. While TLS is widely used to add confidentiality, authenticity, and integrity to the application layer protocols, such as HTTP, SMTP, IMAP, POP3, and FTP. However, TLS does not bind the TCP connection to the intended application layer protocol. This allows a man-in-the-middle attacker to redirect TLS traffic to a different TLS service endpoint or another IP address and or port, according to researchers. This here is significant. It essentially allows different secured TLS sessions to be redirected with something as simple as a subdomain. And so very, very interesting. There's a whole lot on this, by the way, and something that's definitely worth checking out. The researchers scanned the internet and found 1.4 million web servers that were vulnerable to a cross-protocol attack, including 119,000 that can be targeted using an exploitable application server. The attack method was discovered last year, and researchers started notifying impacted vendors in October of 2020. Microsoft and other developers of product like SendMail, Courier, FileZilla, VS, FTPD, Nginx, and the Go programming languages have all taken steps to mitigate this risk. However, a lot more there. The researchers have set up a website dedicated to the Alpaca attack, which contains information on impacts, affected vendor responses, comparison to other attacks, and possible protections. Worth taking a look, folks. Definitely worth it. So JBS, the world's largest provider of what better than beef, paid $11 million to the REvil gang in a ransomware attack. Good move, bad move. So I'm going to kind of come at this from a different perspective. I run a business. My business is manufacturing beef. I'm the largest beef producer in the world. I feed millions, hundreds of millions of people globally. I employ hundreds of thousands of people across all of my facilities, including, farmers and so forth, meaning, you probably, JBS could easily employ directly or indirectly over 1 to 2 million people. You're under a ransomware attack. What's $11 million? I don't know. That's just my thought process on this thing. A lot of people have seen a lot of the comments on LinkedIn and Twitter and other places, and I get it. But I'm kind of going to go and look at this and say, what's $11 million to keep the business running, keep people employed, and keep the world fed? Just putting that out there. I'm not going to judge them anymore. I'm not going to go over what they looked for and, all that stuff. I'm not going to give REvil any sort of mainstream play. Just going to go and say, if I'm the CEO of JBS USA and I'm Andre Nogueira, that's probably what I'm thinking. Apparently, DarkSide pawned Colonial with an old VPN password. As more information becomes available, it took only one dusty, no longer used password for the DarkSide cyber criminals to breach the network of Colonial pipeline last month. We're going to talk a lot more about that on Monday night at an event I'll be hosting with my good buddy Brian Kane, who's joining me here. And sorry for all the honking, folks, that you can hear in the background. I am in Tel Aviv at the moment, and people here drive with one hand on the wheel and another hand on the horn. That's just the way it goes. And I'm on the 6th floor and you can still hear it. So that just tells you how crazy that is. Brian Kane will be joining me as well. Brian Kane, one of the funnest people I know and also super wicked smart. And JBS also includes the 2nd largest U.S. poultry company. Yes, they do. This is, again, it's the difference between business continuity and keeping your business running to shutting everything down and really maybe not recovering in time. So apparently Mandiant published a report around this, and there's a password problem. Obviously, you guys have all seen the news. I didn't want to cover it. 8.4 billion passwords on a popular hacker forum was released over the weekend. Earlier this week, passwords, change them. Simple. Really. Okay. Let's move to our final story of the day, where President Biden revokes President Trump's era executive order that sought to ban Alipay, TikTok, and WeChat from the U.S., as the Chinese-backed apps are now open to continue to do business in the U.S. The latest directive, essentially from Alipay, CamScanner, TikTok, QQ Wallet, Share It, Tencent, QQ, VMate, WeChat, WeChat Pay, and WPS Office are no longer set to be banned. President Trump sought to ban them with the fear that China could use the data there in order to spy on Americans and invade American privacy. The replacement of the Trump executive orders with the new directive also sets a new criteria that the Commerce Department must use to review whether apps tied to foreign adversaries pose an unacceptable risk, according to a White House fact sheet. It's the criteria for determining if an app poses an unacceptable risk if it is owned, controlled, or managed by persons that support foreign adversary military or intelligence activities, or are involved in malicious cyber activities, or involve applications that collect sensitive personal data, according to the fact sheet. I updated earlier this week that TikTok now obtains and contains updated the privacy policy to keep your biometrics there. So, serious stuff there to keep an eye out for it. That's it for our practitioner brief today, folks. I'll be back in the studio Monday with so much more stuff to talk about, and I'm so excited to be back in my studio. I've been traveling for the last 3.5 weeks. I'm ready to be back and get back into our routine. Very, very exciting stuff. So I appreciate all of your guys' patience. I know I haven't been consistent this week. I've pre-recorded several of them. I've gone live on a few, but going forward, we'll be live 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, so you want to check it out. Next week, I've also got a webinar on Active Directory with the folks over at Ativo Networks. I'll be posting that link later today, and I'll be emailing everyone. If you have not signed up to our newsletter list, go to cyberhubpodcast.com, sign up for our newsletter. We only do 1 email a month, folks. Max 2. I'm not one of those people that's going to load you up with emails every 3 days. I don't do it. I respect your emails. If you want to be part of that and see all the other stuff that we do outside of the podcast, please go to cyberhubpodcast.com and sign up for our newsletter. That's it for me here from lovely, beautiful Israel. I'll be back Monday in the greatest country on planet Earth. That's these United States of America. Until then, have a great rest of your day, folks. Have a great weekend. Enjoy. Take some time away. Step away. Enjoy life. It's summer. It's June. So spend it with your loved ones. Go out, see the birds, and out of view right on this window here is the Mediterranean Ocean, which I'm about to go take a dip in. Till then, folks, enjoy. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers and stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.